Hey, what's up? This is Corey with Life Ends. This is my first video in a really long time. A lot of stuff has happened. I just couldn't concentrate on this channel as much as I wanted to, but somehow I got a few extra subscribers in that time, and I'm not giving up on this channel. It's something I still want to do, so I'm just saying that right away. Lots of health problems, lots of problems in my personal life. Just struggling a lot, but doing better for the new year. And yeah, I figured I never did a year-end list. I might still do that. I've noticed some people still doing it. That's cool. I might still do that. But for now, I figured I would start out with a video of just some recommendations. I noticed a lot of YouTubers, the reviews that some people do, how they articulate in these reviews, man, I just don't think I'm that great at it. And, but I still want to be able to talk about the music that I love and some albums that maybe, not everybody's heard yet. But as far as like long reviews, I don't know. I might do one here or there. But just to start off, I want to just do something a little bit different. So I figured I'd talk about 2 or 3 albums per video. And, yeah. So anyways, the first album I wanted to talk about was the new album by the band Night Terror, and that's Night as spelled with a K, and they're from New York. They kind of do like this black thrash style, but not done the way that I've heard it before. Oh, and the album's called Conjuring the Death Creature. Cannot remember what label this is on, but I'm going to put links for all this stuff underneath. Anyways, yeah, so it's kind of black thrash, kind of punkish too. Like they do have some of the like crust punk kind of elements. It's just really, really, really disgusting. And it actually, the name's real fitting because it kind of sounds like something like when I listen to it, I think about horror movies. And I know, for metal, that's kind of normal, but this, to me, listening to this, not that they sound like necrophagia, but kind of brings up those kind of feelings. Like if I imagine a music video for some of this music, it would probably be like Cannibal Holocaust or something like that, this stuff is just, it's disgusting. It's, I'd say it's real heavy on the thrash and punk elements with, kind of more black metal in the atmosphere. And, not that it's atmospheric, but just the rawness and like the vocals, just the disgustingness of the vocals. And it just rocks. It's got a little bit of like, almost like a black and roll kind of feel to it sometimes. Like it rocks really hard. I mean, you could bang your head to this for days. I really am getting into this album. So yeah, definitely check out Night Terror, Conjuring a Death Creature, or Conjuring the Death Creature. I'm not sure. The next album I want to talk about is, Atrament. They're from Oakland, I believe. And, they have an album out called Scum Sect. Now, I'd heard their last album, and I remember really liking it, but for some reason, I didn't listen to it that many times. I remember liking it. I think my old band actually played with them, at one point. That might have been how I heard them, but, yeah, they're fantastic. It's pretty much like a mix between D-beat, in the Scandinavian, more produced style, mixed with black metal. And the vocals have a bit of a death metal feel as well. There are some death metal elements, but I'd call them like a blackened crust kind of band. And, that's one of my favorite genres. And this band is giving bands like Martyrdod a run for their money. I mean, there's so much... They're darker than a lot of those bands. They're still melodic, but it's not like bands like Martyrdod and God, I can't think of any other ones right now. Well, they're one of the bigger ones, but there's so many. that almost get a little too cheesy, a little too melodic, like a little too happy sounding sometimes. There's nothing happy about this. It's not so much that it's everything mixed together to make one particular sound. There's the crust parts and there's the black metal parts, and the vocals are pretty much always pretty guttural. Man, this is like the ultimate like punk metal album. I think this came out on what was it? Blood Harvest, which is somehow related to Helter Skelter, which is somehow related to Shadow Records. And then I think that's for the CD, and then there's a different label for the vinyl. Again, I will have links underneath it. That album is it's just sick. If you like crust and metal mixed together, you have to check out this band. Oh, and this was recorded at Earhammer Studios by Greg Wilkinson, who's also in Brain Oil. They have a new album out yet. I haven't got a chance to check that out, but I am going to be checking that out soon. Last album I want to talk to you about. This was probably my favorite album of 2018. Came out, I think, towards the end of the year, and it's just because it's my favorite style. This is the album by Voodus from Sweden. And this, the album's called Into the Wild. This came out on Shadow Records, actually. And Shadow Records has put out so much great stuff in the last couple years. One of the main things that they put out being the Offermod record, the newest one, Soul Knox, which was, just amazing. Offermod's one of my favorite bands. They just have put out a lot of good stuff. And they're doing a lot of that Swedish Orthodox style of black metal. I guess Watain would probably be the most popular of that style. But beyond that, I mean, it's one of my favorite styles. When I listen to black metal, I'm usually listening to stuff like that, stuff like Onskapt, or oh man, like I said, Offermod. There's so many good bands doing that style. And Sweden just has so many right now. Most of my favorite black metal bands right now are coming out of Sweden. Anyway, so this Voodus album, Into the Wild, this thing is like total dissection worship. If I said anything that it's different from dissection, as it leans heavier on the black metal and not so much like the death metal side, but it has more of a black metal atmosphere. It has, just the sound of it to me is a little bit more black metal, but it's still, you listen to it, there's no way, if you like dissection, there's no way that you're going to listen to this and not think that they are absolutely like, worshiping at the altar of dissection. Like but a lot of people didn't like the last dissection record. I personally love it. It's the back patch on my vest. It's one of my favorite records of all time. But this album, I think if this is what dissection would have sounded like, I would have probably been almost just as happy. Like I mean, I know that you can't really top them, but this, like, if there was an album that came out before Rain Chaos, I would have believed that this was it if it wasn't for the vocals, because they do sound a little bit different. But man, this album is so good. And just in that style, Swedish Orthodox black metal, whatever you want to call it, that already kind of worships dissection, worshiping dissection even a little bit more. But man, these songs are so memorable, and there's so much great dark atmosphere in this album. I love it. And it was recorded at Necromorbis Studios, and anything that's recorded there is going to be pretty produced. I mean, it sounds, pretty polished, but I haven't noticed anything that sounds too polished through there. So, you could hear everything clear as day. It's just absolutely amazing album. Like I said, it's probably my favorite album from last year. There's a few more that I want to talk about, and a few newer albums I want to talk about. But for now, those are the albums I want to talk about. Again, Night Terror, Conjuring the Death Creature, Atrament, Scum, Sect, and Voodus, Into the Wild. 3 great, amazing albums ranging from black metal, a little bit of death metal, crust punk that are out right now. I believe you can get them all digitally. I believe all of these, I think, are available on vinyl. I'm not sure about the Night Terror, but again, the links will be underneath this. And thanks to everybody who stuck with me. I hope to get more videos out and more frequently. And yeah, this has been Corey with Life Ends, some recommendations, and I'll talk to you all next time. Thanks.